You've heard it at funerals. You've seen it on sympathy cards. You've heard it whispered in hospital rooms and prison cells and broken homes. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. But I need to ask you something today, brothers and sisters. Do you actually know what those words mean? Because if you think this is just a comforting poem, you have missed one of the most powerful declarations in all of human history. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never read Psalm 23 the same way again. The year is roughly 1000 BC. A young man sits alone on a hillside somewhere in the wilderness of Judah. He is surrounded by sheep. The sun is brutal. The land is dry. Predators lurk in the shadows. And this young man, this shepherd, picks up a harp and begins to write. His name is David. And what he writes in that moment will be read by billions of people across 3,000 years of human history. But here is what most people miss. David was not writing as a poet looking for beautiful imagery. David was writing from experience. He had been a shepherd. He knew exactly what it meant to say, "The Lord is my shepherd," and what he meant would shake you to your core if you truly understood it. Let's start with the very first word that matters. In the original Hebrew, this psalm begins with the word Yahweh, not God, not Lord in the generic sense. Yahweh, the personal covenant name of God, the name so sacred that ancient Jewish scribes would stop, wash their hands, and use a fresh pen before writing it. This is not David saying a higher power watches over me. This is David saying, the God who spoke the universe into existence, the God who parted the Red Sea, the God who knows every star by name, that God is my shepherd, personal, intimate, unbreakable. And then comes the word Ro'i, the Hebrew word for shepherd. And brothers and sisters, if you grew up in a modern city, you have absolutely no idea how loaded that word was in ancient Israel. A shepherd in David's time was not someone who occasionally checked on the flock from a distance. A shepherd lived with his sheep. He slept among them. He knew every single one by name, their personalities, their weaknesses, their tendencies to wander. He went ahead of them to scout for danger. He fought off wolves, bears, and lions with his bare hands and a wooden staff. He carried injured sheep on his shoulders for miles. He would leave 99 sheep to find the one that was lost. A shepherd in ancient Israel was not a job. It was a total, consuming, sacrificial commitment to the well-being of every single animal in his care. And David, who had done all of those things as a real shepherd, looked up at the God of the universe and said, "You are that to me." Now let's look at the second part of this verse. I shall not want. In modern English, that sounds passive, quiet, almost resigned. But the original Hebrew, lo exar, is anything but passive. It means I lack nothing. I am completely supplied. I am without deficiency. This is not David saying, I guess I'll be okay. This is David making a bold, confident, almost audacious declaration. Because remember, David wrote this in the wilderness. He wrote it while running from enemies. He wrote it during seasons of his life that were brutal and painful and uncertain. And yet, from that place, he declares, I lack nothing. Not because his circumstances were perfect, but because his shepherd was. Brothers and sisters, think about what this means for your life right now. You might be going through a season where everything feels uncertain, where the bills don't add up, where the relationship is broken, where the diagnosis is scary, where the future feels completely unclear. And into that moment, across 3,000 years of history, David speaks directly to you. The Lord is your shepherd, not was, not will be, is, present tense, active, right now, in this moment, in this season, in this pain. He is with you the way a shepherd is with his sheep, not watching from a distance, but walking beside you, ahead of you, behind you, knowing your name, knowing your fear, knowing exactly what you need before you even ask. And here is the part that should change everything about how you pray, how you worry, how you face tomorrow. I shall not want. David is not saying you will never go through hard times. He is not promising you a comfortable life. He is saying something far more powerful. He is saying, whatever I need, my shepherd provides. Whatever threatens me, my shepherd protects. Whatever path lies ahead, my shepherd has already walked it. I lack nothing that my shepherd has not already accounted for. That is not wishful thinking. That is covenant confidence. That is the declaration of a man who had watched God come through again and again and again, in the wilderness, in the battle, in the palace, and in the pit. So the next time fear whispers to you that you are alone, the next time anxiety tells you that you won't have enough, the next time life feels like a wilderness with no clear path forward, I want you to remember these words, not as a poem, not as a comforting saying for a greeting card, but as a declaration, a covenant promise from the God who knows your name, who counts every hair on your head, who holds every moment of your life in his hands. The Lord is my shepherd, and because he is, I shall not want. Say it like you mean it, because it is true. Psalm 23, verse 1. 3,000 years old, and more relevant to your life today than anything you will read in the news this week. If this opened something in you today, if something shifted while you were watching, don't let that moment pass. Subscribe to my channel, brothers and sisters, and bring someone with you who needs to hear this, because every verse in this Bible carries a weight that most people never stop long enough to feel. We stop here. We go deep. We find it together. God is good, always.